You feeling feisty tonight, Davey?
No.
Oh.
I've been waiting to talk about this race all day, and the anticipation of talking about it has gotten to me. And now that we're here, I'm clamming up. I'm a little nervous.
Well, here, let me ease your nerves a little bit. Remember how we always do race picks and we never say anything about them the next week after, ever.
Oh, I remembered.
Yeah.
I was gonna bring it up later.
I've only been complaining about that for like a year and a half.
Well, you know what, Matthew? Maybe if someone actually did something with the picks, we would have something. We would have a segment. But guess what? No one else wants to do any work. No one wants to work anymore.
God damn it.
Actually, nobody ever wanted to work. Let's be real about that.
My camera doesn't want to work. It doesn't want to focus on it. God, it's driving me nuts. Good Lord.
I'm about to have to bleep that one because it's in the first minute of the show.
No, they'll be fine. Yeah, you might want to bleep. That one's pretty early.
That one's pretty early.
Here. Does it help if I group them together?
No, it does not. It's okay if they're later. It's just YouTube has this weird thing where, if you swear in the first, 5 to 10 minutes, it really hates it for some reason.
Yeah.
But if, you swear after 10 minutes, you're fine. Because, people are deep enough in the video at that point or something. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, it's weird.
YouTube's
I think it's also
a great place.
There's a lot of the time pre-roll ads, and companies don't want their ad and then very quickly followed by an F-bomb. So I think that's part of it too.
I think we focused. I gotta turn my lamp is super bright, but go ahead. What are we getting at here, Joe?
Concentrate. I just wanted to say that you picked the winner last week.
Of course I did.
And
for the culture.
I'm gonna just tail you on my bets the rest of the year now.
That's fine. Like I said, I did it for the culture. Real ones know, or something.
I was not good with my money on Sunday. I made a very bad decision.
What's that, man?
So Denny Hamlin, 30 minutes before the race came on the air, was like, "Please, NASCAR, don't do this."
I saw that.
And I know people are like, "Oh, haha, funny. He doesn't want to race out there in the rain." No, I think NASCAR's backup plan was to run them out there for a lap under caution and then say the race was completed and just hand him the victory.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay.
So
they
went
watched,
all in on Denny Hamlin.
I did.
They watched the Belgian Grand Prix from 2021 and they're like, seems like a good idea.
Because there was, I don't know what the contingency plan really was. They posted that little thing oh, we could meet with the city of Chicago and figure something out. And it's there's no way they'd let them race on Monday. There's no way. With all the hubbaloo, commotion, catastrophe.
But we didn't have to worry about that because we got the race, Joe.
We did.
And that's what I like. I like that.
I do want to too because Matt's back this week. Matt, you got to do some cool racing last week, right?
I did. As you can see, right, it's kind of hard to tell. Maybe I'll take a better picture. We won the side hack race. So there was 12 teams signed up. So we had to go through the original setup was 2 3-person motos for. Wait, no, my math's off. Anyway, whatever. We whole shotted and won all 3 races that we ran. Our first moto, so we didn't have to run the second one. Whole shotted and won our semi, and then in the main event, maybe I'll put together a little edit of this because all of it was recorded, including on my GoPro. We whole shotted. We got out front. Everything was cool. We went over the second jump, and a problem that we had in testing the morning of when my brother and I were messing around reared its head in the main event where we went up, caught a little bit of air, and as soon as we landed, when you're pedaling, you're only torquing on the right side of the rim. And so the whole rim turned sideways in the forks. So then it was A, we lost the chain, and B, it was rubbing against the brake pad. And so on the GoPro footage, which I think I posted in the USRL server, you can hear us go through the second corner and my brother starts yelling at me that we lost the chain. So for the entire second half of the race, it was just me pushing. And luckily, the only team that was close to us on speed lost their chain in the first corner. So we were just checked out at that point. So nobody even came close to catching us. But we won, and it was awesome. And I was super pumped. So, and we got a cool plaque up on the wall. So
that's dope.
Hell yeah.
I was really excited about it. So And then tomorrow. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say you got like back there. You got some difference. You got a lot of stuff up there now, too.
Yeah, I finally hung up the Gold Cup plaque, which is the one on the left, the state qualifier one, and then the one from Manteca that we did a couple weeks ago. And hopefully this weekend when I go up to Reno, I bring home a bunch of hardware as well because we're racing all 3 days then. And did I have something else to say? Oh, the track's doing a 4th of July parade tomorrow, so my mom's decorating the side hack right now with like America themed stuff, and my
Nice.
sister-in-law's gonna ride it. So
That's
Nice.
awesome, dude.
yeah, so
That's
it's been a
cool.
good time.
Sick.
Almost as good time as the Chicago Street Course.
Hey, the JTN transition. Woo!
Brought it back, baby.
Yes, this is Fake Racers podcast. You guys probably don't care about our lives, so I mean, Davey, did you do anything fun?
No.
Okay,
No, I mostly just had a really relaxing week. It was a very relaxing weekend. Went by the pool and just floated, and it's good.
Nice.
Good. Got some sun.
Good.
Gotta love that. What's the vitamin you get from the sun, Joe?
D.
Yeah.
Because you get sunny,
Yeah,
you
'cause
drink
of Sunny
Sunny D.
D. You drink Sunny D.
Because that's got plenty of vitamins in it.
Yeah, man. Well, who did the Sunny D car ended up in the damn fence a couple
And
times?
qualifying.
At least the one time.
Couple guys. Okay, so let's talk. I'm Joe. That was Davey.
That's
Matthew.
Me, Davey.
Matthew's the only person that does any racing anymore.
Working on it.
Ew.
We talked about what you did last week, Davey.
What did I do last week?
Okay, you got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I streamed last night as well. I ran Be Fixed at Chicago Street Course. It was very fun, by the way. That track is a very fun track to drive. I forget where I finished. I just know that there was a really funny moment that happened in that race.
Oh, geez.
There's an Aussie guy that I kind of started near, and like on the first lap on like the backstretch, I had like a decent run, and I went to go look, and he goes defensive all the way to the inside wall on the first lap, and I'm like, okay. Sure, man. I went on the outside and I passed him, and eventually, like it was really stacked up. So I stack up behind some guy. He gets around me again. I kind of follow him through. We pass like 4 or 5 cars, like nose to tail, and I'm still behind him. And then I get another run on him. It's like lap 7 of 15, and he goes like defensive to the inside wall, like again. And I'm like, all right, okay. And so like the next lap, we're coming into the penultimate corner. And I stuff it in there, and it was a good send. It was a very like polite send. I just moved him wide. He didn't even hit the wall, and he was upset. He was like, "Are you serious?" And I was like, I was like, "My bad." But he was Aussie or something like that. And a couple laps later, I locked up the brakes, and he got around me. He's like, "Oh no, what a shame!" And then the same lap, probably like 4 corners later, he tangles with 2 other guys directly in front of me. And as I'm speeding by on the front stretch, I key up the mic and I scream, "Oh no, what shame!" and I went back and I found this guy's Twitch channel, and he was streaming during it.
Oh no.
And I watched it back. And his chat clowned him so hard when I went past him.
Oh my god.
It was so good. Oh my god, I loved it. It's little moments like that where like I appreciate the like anonymity and not anonymity and like I don't know who they are, but like I don't know.
You're not racing
Like,
the same
I'm not
people
racing
every
people
week.
that I know all the time. Yeah. So like rooting in instances like that where on stream he was a good sport about it, but
Yeah.
it was still funny.
That's awesome. Oh my gosh.
But,
They're good sports in the real race as well. So
yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
So let's just talk about it. Chicago Street Race was yesterday on a recording 2 days ago when you're probably listening to this.
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome.
But Shane Van Gisbergen won.
Van Gizzy for the culture.
First driver to win in his first race since I think it was Joe Rutherford in 1963.
I believe you're right. Yeah.
First driver to win his first NASCAR start of any kind as well since 1963, or is that like a different stat?
It was definitely for Cup.
Didn't Ty Gibbs win on his debut a couple years ago in Xfinity?
Because Ty never ran any trucks.
Right.
I'm pretty sure Ty Gibbs did.
Well,
yeah,
would
Cup,
like a K&N or ARCA count though?
I don't know.
I guess, but maybe if he won that, I don't know. Who knows?
This is the Cup
one
Series, though. Like,
Yeah,
let's
it-
He won his
it's
first
little-
Xfinity race.
let's just
It is
leave
still
it
the
at
Cup
that.
Series. It's still an insane statistic.
Yes.
Yep.
So Van Glizzy won. You know,
Yeah.
it was Chicago. Come on.
It was a good. Listen, Shane Van Gisbergen had a great run. Can we talk about that real quick? Can we talk about how apparently his
Yes.
name is really hard to pronounce? I don't understand that.
It
I don't
is
get
if you're
it.
trying to do it quick. It's because of that middle syllable.
Shane Van Gisbergen. I've
It's not even that.
never had a problem with it.
I was at dinner with my family, and we were all watching it on my cousin's phone, and I was literally the only person who could figure out how to pronounce it. Like, every single person would be like, Van Giz whatever, and I was like, oh my god.
Dude,
Just say the Kiwi.
It's Bergen.
It is pronounced exactly how it's spelled.
Yeah.
If you maybe can't see the
SVG.
name, I get it. If you can't see the name and you hear someone say it, I get it. If you can see the name and you can't say it, it's Gisbergen. It's 3 syllables, and it is exactly how it's spelled. But I swear to God, we had Gisbergen in. We had Jeff Burton. I don't know what he did. I don't know like what happened. I would love
Oh
to
my
see like a
God.
scan of his brain in that moment because they man get Berg, and then they just cut away from him. It was amazing. I don't understand.
Junior just stopped saying Van. It was just Gisbergen. And I was like, that's fine. Just cut one of those syllables out. You don't need it.
Let's call him Shane. Christ's
Yeah.
sake, there's no
The
other
Kiwi.
Shane. There's no other Shane. It's not like it's
God.
Kyle or Eric or like or there's
just-
multiple.
It was. I don't understand how it was that hard to say, but regardless, I guess it's a good thing they had to say it so much. It made for a really fun race.
Oh, yeah.
So obviously it's a big win, right? Like, yeah, Trackhouse 2 wins in a row now. For all the people that are like, what's Trackhouse doing this year?
Actually, it's a Trackhouse in that a Project 91 win.
God damn it. Oh god, what was I gonna say? No, it's funny watching that with a bunch of people who aren't like as diehard racing fans as me, because they were like, "Oh, he's just the only car who didn't wreck," and I was like, "Well, first off, no. Second off, that's still an important skill on its own. Not wrecking is kind of the whole thing you're supposed to do when you drive a race car." And 3, he was also like the 3rd fastest car early in the race, and I still didn't think he was pushing that hard. Like the entire race, I was like, if he gets out front, he's checking out. Like I know Shane Van Gisbergen. Like he's not pushing 100% right now. So
Yeah,
that was awesome though.
He's such a he is a race car driver in the sense of like he is so good during the race. He obviously has raw pace, he has raw talent, he has amazing car control. But his talents shine in racing conditions, in green flag conditions, wheel to wheel. I've never not been impressed by what he can do in a wheel to wheel situation. And it was just unbelievably impressive to watch. Like his intuition behind the wheel is I think second to none in the world. Even like that pass for the lead, like it looks really simple, but like
We
There's a
didn't
lot
see anyone
probably-
else do it. Is
We
the
It was
thing.
so cool.
anyone else do it, and it was such a slick move. Like he just kind of like he just set himself up better for the braking zone because he knew that Haley wasn't as strong there. And so when he when he let him by, he was like, okay, I can just brake in a straight line and then I can move over and just pass him.
Which
It
I also got to point out, awesome move by Justin Haley, and then Van Gisbergen just immediately one-upped him like 5 seconds later.
Yeah.
It was
We're-
so cool.
people were not giving Haley enough credit for even putting up the little fight that he did.
Oh yeah, no, he was driving great at the end too. I mean, it even looked even before that, it looked like Austin Dillon was faster than him, and he just like never flinched when Dillon made a really embarrassing mistake.
And Haley had really old tires too, compared to like, and that's getting lost. And he was also having to save fuel to make it to the end of the race. But I mean, Van Gisbergen, I mean, he's the Kiwi Kyle Larson, right? Like, and he's won sprint cars, supercars, NASCAR now, GT. Like,
yeah, I can see that.
I guess. I don't know.
All right. Yeah. Because people always like to talk about Kyle Larson and his ability to get in anything and drive it, right?
Yeah.
And I know this car is so similar to those supercars and all that, but
I don't know. There's still a part of me that genuinely thinks that Shane Van Gisbergen is a level above Kyle Larson.
That's fine. I'm just trying to say the comparison for folks that maybe aren't familiar with V8 supercars, because that's 95% of folks.
Yeah, more in the sense of his versatility rather than like a talent level.
I understand that. I understand that. If I were to give like an extremely accurate, it's like Kyle Larson and Kyle Busch had a roided up baby.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Is that why he's so tall?
Maybe. Who knows?
But yeah, I mean, ability, drove from 18th there with 25 laps to go, or 18 or whatever. I mean, and there were things, but
I mean, that's still insane. That is like, it is so hard to pass on a street course. And I mean, the troubles with the next gen on road course type racetracks are well documented. Everyone knows that it's already hard to pass. Put them on a street course, and yeah, there's obstacles, like it is harder to drive. Parts of the track are still wet. Like, I get it. It's still unbelievably hard to do. I mean, that's almost a car lap, just about. You know what I mean? So it's impressive. No matter how you look at it.
You can compare it to, I mean, the guys he was racing before all that cycled through. Reddick and Bell stuffed it in the tires. Larson didn't get up near the front. And then who else was running up front?
Kyle Busch was at the end, but he was in the tires lap 3.
Yeah. But like nobody else from that group that Shane was racing all day got up to the front like he did. Like, it was just an absolute clinic at the end. It was just like, shows up, dominates, wins, refuses to elaborate, leaves. That was Shane Van Gisbergen today.
Basically. And I loved it. Every second.
It was awesome.
It was awesome. And it's so funny. It was really funny hearing NASCAR drivers who didn't know who this person was, which kind of blows my mind, because I've known who Shane Van Gisbergen has been for like nearly a decade. It just kind of like, I don't understand how you are in the business you're in, you don't know who he is. Even when he's announced to come here and thoroughly whoops your ass, that's what it takes for you to know who Shane Van Gisbergen is.
Yeah, that is kind of odd.
You want to talk about our 2020 champions comments at all?
Are you talking about the telling everybody how much we suck comment?
Yeah,
I thought that was funny. Yeah, okay. I think he was just having a laugh. I think people are gonna look way too into. I cannot wait. He didn't
deliver it very well.
Well, it's Chase Elliott. What do you expect?
That's true.
Like, what do you expect from him? I mean, I think like a certain podcast with a few spotters are probably gonna dive way too deep into that. One in particular who needs to stay in his effing motorhome.
It's fitting that his name's Couch Racer, so because he was on his couch this week instead of racing.
He was in.
That's by choice.
He was in glistening Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Oh, what a beautiful city.
In between having to wade through the trash, he was at the beach. So
epicenter of American culture, obviously.
Yeah, what's Myrtle Beach's nickname?
The Windy City.
That's right. Yeah,
Anyway,
I
thought
the amount of commotion from that specific group of people in the sport coming into this weekend. And then for literally every driver to, like, after the race to, like, be like, oh yeah, this was pretty cool, like,
yeah.
And it felt like everyone involved in it was like, yeah, this was pretty cool.
This was awesome. I loved.
It's crazy when you try new things, you might actually like them. Not everything's going to be the Bristol Dirt Race.
Damn, that's shade. I was listening to Denny's podcast, and he was talking about like how him and like a few drivers. They were out on the town in Chicago, getting pizza and going to Cubs games and stuff. That's cool, man. I mean, like amongst the general public and people, that's how you do. That's how you grow the sport.
Did you see Corey LaJoie's post-race video?
I did not see that.
He was riding in the back of one of those like 3-wheeled taxis,
and he was like,
he was like filming himself. He's like, I'm in the back of, I don't know what this is called, but
the pedicab
P18 at the road or the road course is pretty cool.
Yes. But that's awesome. That's so cool. It's like little stuff like that. Like you don't really think about that, but like you're not doing that after you race in the middle of nowhere in Georgia, or like, you know, like, that's not gonna happen. Like a driver isn't gonna do that after Bristol.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It's cool. It's different, and I loved the shots. I mean, I'm sure we'll kind of dive into the broadcast a little bit, but you know, I mean, everything looked amazing. Everything looked pretty. I mean, it's just like. It was an unmatched experience. It was one of my favorite like one of my favorite races to watch in a long time.
Yeah, I would agree.
Sure.
I would agree. Even though I didn't get to watch like the end of it because we had a broadcast.
Yeah. Joe had to go make money.
Listen, that race was supposed to be over by then. Okay, when I booked this stuff 6 months ago. It's supposed to be over.
That's fair.
Turn 6, the tire monster, especially in turn 6, it really liked Baconators, believe it or not.
Oh my god.
Noah Gragson got 8 by turn 6.
Three times.
Different times.
It liked the taste because it ate him.
Dude, if that isn't an endorsement for Baconators, I don't know what is.
Dude,
he made a tweet
about it too, so fair enough. Fair play.
We got some all-time sponsor tie-in too, because there was the Baconator ad while he was buried in the tires, and then there was when Bubba ran off track in the runoff that was all McDonald's logos.
That's gotta be like a social media post soon, man. Like a picture of that, just like surrounded by McDonald's logos. Controller disconnected.
Yeah. Gragson and Truex both just had awful days. I
literally
Truex
lost track was doing fine.
I lost track of how many times he spun out.
It was
bad.
It was bad in the last like third of the race for Truex.
Martin Truex Jr. forgot what to do the last half of that race.
Yeah. Gregson just never was gonna have a good day.
No.
He was running well, but I wouldn't say he did well. Like, because he had decent speed.
Someone had said, I don't know who said it, and I don't know if it's true. Well, I'm assuming it's true because it was funny. That BJ McLeod and someone else who haven't run the full season so far have more lead lap finishes than Noah does this year.
I'm really tempted to look this up.
That's scary.
That's probably true.
That just shows you how bad that team has been, right? Like, because
yeah.
I think we know Noah's not a bad race car driver because he did fine in his starts with colleague last year. So
yeah, I think Legacy's just kind of
they're
a mess
struggling
right now.
They're struggling.
Yeah. Well, it didn't help that he got taken out by his teammate early in the race.
That too.
Dude, I literally you were and power played to you. Dude was hydroplaning because he's like, I'm gonna get out of line, and I'm like, Eric, what are you doing? And then he's hydroplaning, and then it's like, oh crap, there's Brad. I'm like, this could not be any worse for me right now. But Eric ended up getting a top 15, so
yeah,
or top 20 at least. Good finish. Good finish.
16, yeah,
good finish. I'll take it.
Yeah,
ain't getting many of those this year.
Oh my god!
I got a clip for you guys to play. I'm gonna insert it here. It's also up on the shorts feed for folks at home if you want to just watch the clip.
Is it the pile up one or?
It is. It is. I know. I was saving it to post it in the other place, but I couldn't sit on it for too long. But the pile up was crazy. The reactions to the pile up were even crazier.
Is this?
That was my favorite moment.
Okay, I'm gonna watch it right now.
Of the race, not because of what actually happened, but Snapchat. I don't know if that came through. But because of the reaction that you gave us, Davey.
To be honest.
Oh, God.
Oh no!
Oh, there it is. That's the whole
Chaos in the McDonald's one.
Of course, Bubba gets f***ed over by it.
Looking like a McDonald's drive-through.
Harvick said no.
They Austin Powers it! They Austin Powers it!
Hey,
They're stuck!
what the
They're Austin
dude?
Powers! They're
Bubba
stuck!
said no. I'm leaving. I'm out of here.
No way.
Bro. That's crazy. Oh, they lost the camera.
He's watching it for the folks listening, because you can't see. This is a
They Austin Powers
We'll
it,
put it in
man. They
post.
did.
Yeah, it will be put in post, actually. So this is something that I am willing to do.
I'm sorry. I was just enamored.
No, you're good.
I was like so enthralled by what was happening, and then I noticed that
Kevin
the
Harvick.
two cars in the front were nose to tail between the wall. It was like a police closure. Like it was blocked off.
Chicago PD needed a little help from Saturday night, and Cup drivers were trying to show them how to do it.
It was just so. I mean, it was just perfect. It was just perfect. Oh, God, this so makes
funny.
me laugh. Okay, I'm good. I'm okay. I'm good. Oh, excuse me.
Obviously, the decision to shorten the race sounded like it had a little more controversy for some of the teams, especially those that did pit and got stuck back in traffic compared to those that didn't pit and used it to their advantage. I don't know. I feel like we all saw that coming, which I know is a terrible excuse for NASCAR, but
I like. Here's the deal. As far as shortening the race, so when we were watching it all together, we were like,
we knew it.
Man, this race is gonna be short, huh? And then Christopher Bell's crew chief was apparently like, yeah, about 50 to go.
Halfway, baby.
Totally unaware of the fact that it's getting dark and that it's gonna be nighttime. Apparently, I get the argument from like a pure standpoint of, this was the length of the race, this was the plan, yada yada. Your job is to be a crew chief and call the race as the race is, not like. If a caution happens, what are you going to do? Are you going to be like, hey, no, this was supposed to go green right here.
Hey, I'm racing here.
I'm racing here. No, you're not. You're not going to do that. So, and if stupid McIdiot me can be like, yeah, they might shorten the race. Like, this is going to be shorter. Whether they call it shorter then or not, whether it's like shorter later or shorter now, like whether they say we're going to end at lap 80, or if we get to lap 80 and they're like, this sucks, we're stopping it. like either way, the race is still going to be shorter, and you should still probably plan for it. And anyone who is complaining about it, I think, just maybe needs to look inward just a tiny bit, and
in a
be a better crew
vacuum.
chief.
In a vacuum, it's like it's kind of ridiculous, but like you're there at the track. Like you can't even use the excuse that like the TV cameras make it look brighter than it actually is, because you're there.
Mm-hmm.
So
It was dark when that race ended too. It was.
Oh yeah, no.
Okay.
When I saw the pictures of it afterwards, I was like, oh my god. Okay.
They were lucky they didn't get another overtime finish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been bad.
And I don't know how you don't already know. Like, how do you not are you planning on it not doing that? Because why are you doing that? Again, like us here could tell immediately. Like at lap 30, like, oh, it's getting dark. I don't know. I think that's ridiculous. Again, that's going to be another thing that's going to be really played out this week and talked about, and yada yada. This, that, the other thing. I also would rather them do what they did and say, okay, it's lap whatever now. We're going to lap 80 or 75 or whatever it is. We're going to this lap. That's the lap. That's what we're going to. There you go. Instead of us getting to lap 77 and NASCAR's like, oh yeah, let's just call it here, boys.
Yeah.
We're done. Then you have another
Another can of
30% of crew
worms.
chiefs who are
Yeah.
mad. Yeah, exactly. It's like, well, why'd you end it then? That was so arbitrary. Well, shut the hell up.
I think you can, because there's a level too, because when that caution comes out and the fact that they make the decision to shorten the race right after everyone decided to pit, I think that's maybe where some of the frustration comes from or stems from, which
I guess I get that part.
I understand that, but again, I think we all knew that race was getting shortened when it started at 6:15.
Mm-hmm.
And it was taking a while at the start with everyone running into the tires. I don't know, Matt. You don't have anything else to add, do you? I don't want to.
No, I mean that was basically what I was going to say. Is I get it from the. I think NASCAR could have timed it better because I mean I get being frustrated that you gave up your track position and NASCAR's like, by the way, you have 25 less laps to get it back now. I get it, but at the same time, like you got to be prepared.
Deal with it.
Like you said, the writing was on the wall. We all knew it wasn't going to go 100 laps.
Yeah.
So.
This was the most watched NASCAR on NBC race in 6 years since the 2017 season finale. Just a tick over 4 million viewers, and that's static linear cable television. This race was also available on Peacock this week. Again, I know nobody cares about that, but that's a good thing, folks, because that means people that don't normally watch, we're watching.
Yeah, that rules.
Yeah.
I don't like that they'll use this as an excuse to broadcast late races. Because
I'm not too mad about it during the summertime, but
I'm not against it from the fact of like, yeah, it's hot in Chicago this time of year. It's hot anywhere this time of year, right? But when you don't have lights, you know what I mean? That's kind of where I'm like, hey, maybe we shouldn't start this late.
Time to bring in some temporary Musco lighting.
That's okay.
Make it a night race.
Have a plan. Just have a plan. Can you imagine noise complaints from little?
It would be awesome.
It would. All the skyscrapers lit up and stuff too.
Dude.
Ugh.
I mean,
Dude.
we've got the Garage 56 has headlights.
Oh my god. Yes, special race car for one race.
Keep headlights off my NASCAR stock cars, please. I like the stickers.
I mean, really, how cool was it to race in downtown Chicago and
Awesome.
just the sights? And I changed my desktop at work on my computer to Van Gisbergen's burnout there because like the Blue Cross Blue Shield building was all lit up and stuff after the race. And,
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. The Van Gabagool car. Yep. I get it.
mm-hmm.
Also, NBC's production was so friggin' good. Just reminds, like, I know we've beat the dead horse that is Fox so many times, but like it's just impressive how much better NBC's coverage is. I pointed out the sound production, especially like Fox turns down the engine and ambient sounds so low that it feels like you're like watching a Twitch streamer, while NBC, like Rick Allen, was drowned out by the engine in the crowd at the end, and that's awesome because it feels like an event, like they're actually there. It gets you pumped because people like hearing other people cheer. It's kind of like a basic human reaction. So,
dude, the crowd noise at the end was electric.
Yeah,
Just the crowd on Sunday, like what?
Oh yeah,
like. They didn't even get their concerts, guys. They didn't get their concerts. That was supposed to be why everyone was there.
Imagine if they did. Imagine if they did get the concerts. Like unreal people.
Yeah.
I mean, so the question becomes: can NASCAR move this around, right? And I think Steve O'Donnell was the one that was quoted as saying, "We can move this around now. We can race anywhere now."
What a strong statement, by the way. That is what an encouraging thing to hear as a NASCAR fan. If you like truly care about the sport, hearing him say we can bring this anywhere or we can race anywhere, that is such a cool statement to hear from a NASCAR that I did not expect to have at this point in time, like 5 years ago.
They sent out. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say they sent out
more articulated.
Well, I was, I get those
Hey, guys, go ahead.
My point sucks. You go ahead. That's literally what you just did to yourself. I want you to realize that. Okay, it's
I know
fine.
what I said.
Okay. I'm subscribed to those NASCAR Fan Council polls to like kind of get a beat on what they're thinking about, right? One of the questions this week: what cities would you like to see us race in, if we could? And I was a homer. I picked Chicago and Detroit because those are the two closest to me.
You bastard.
But I also put Denver on there, and another city like Seattle was on there.
Awesome. That'd be
Miami
so
was on
awesome.
there.
No, we have Homestead.
We're good.
We have too much in Florida already. Yeah.
As much as I would love, I saw Orlando
there-
on there. As cool as
yeah.
that would be, Daytona exists. So
There was a broad category of a major city in Texas, which is like, okay.
Oh man,
Cleveland was on there, but I don't know why you'd want to race in Cleveland. Sorry, Cleveland. I know you always say at least we're not Detroit, but at least we're not Cleveland.
It's been a while since we've had a Joe shot fired at Ohio.
yeah,
Feels
football-
good to
Look
be
at-
back.
Look at the show
Yeah.
sheet.
I can't wait till football season rolls around, man. Then it's gonna be back in gear.
Back in gear. That's why we gotta make the college football show. But a lot of big cities that aren't in typical NASCAR. Denver, I think, is the one that comes to mind most.
Denver would,
And that's why I put it on there, because that's an unserved market for motorsports, really, in general, right? So, I'm thinking about
you
it.
you could one up F1 because they've been trying to get to New York City for years. So let's put them right down in downtown New York.
you
That'd be
imagine?
pretty cool.
Central Park in New York, they just do a
Just a
rectangle.
square. They do it a street course oval.
Yeah.
that piece. Someone's got to get Ryan Newman in a car. Jumpstart their career.
Hopefully he still has his 2005 Dodge Viper,
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
But honestly though, should they move this event around, at least for the time being?
Not yet. Keep it to Chicago for a little bit. I like
Yeah.
Chicago. I think this was a success. I think we come back and there's perfect weather and it's a slam dunk. Personally.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree too, because I want to go next
Big
year.
thumbs up.
I want to go next year, so
Let's do
That'd be
it.
sick.
if it happens next year for sure, I'm going. Cuz I want to visit Chicago anyway. Dude,
Chicago's cool, especially so like
it's tough,
okay,
man. I
everyone's
wanna
got their
visit Chicago.
stereotypes about their cities, right? Like we get that out of the way. But Chicago, their like Grant Park and along the lake is amazing.
Mhm.
So yeah, you got the Magnificent Mile too, with like a bunch of shops and stuff going north from there. You got the Art Institute, which is Chef's Kiss, Shed Aquarium, Field Museum.
Wow, you're so like cultured, Joe. It's so impressive.
I'm trying to talk positively about a city that has sports teams I hate, okay? To show you that I do have depth in my character. Okay? Just because I hate the entire state of Ohio because their big football team ruined my childhood doesn't mean that I can't see past that for other cities.
That is such a shot at the Browns and Bengals too.
It's true though.
It reminds me, one of my favorite NFL Films quotes is they were talking about the Bengals-Browns rivalry, and they're like, Bengals-Browns, I've always seen them as the second and third best football teams in Ohio. I was like, oh god.
But I agree. It needs to stay in Chicago for at least the rest of this contract, and
Yeah.
you go
Yeah,
from there.
Absolutely.
The layout is amazing. It looks like it. Again, drivers were smiling after the race. When drivers are smiling, that usually means they at least had some kind of fun with the layout for whatever reason. Maybe because it's just different and it's a different challenge. But
In a weird way, it's perfect for stock cars. Like that. Like I could like.
Break zone.
Yeah, it's like I couldn't imagine IndyCar going there.
No.
Couldn't IMSA I could see, but it would maybe be like a GT only race, and
Yeah.
you know we talked about this too. Like, oh, they want to bring IMSA, blah blah blah, but like there's no room for it. I don't think it's already tight for space in there. But like it's just perfect for stock cars. Like I like it's hard. It's weird for me to say that there is a street course perfect for stock cars. Like my brain from even like a year ago is refusing to like let that be a thing that I think, but it really is. It
Mhm.
was like just perfect. It was a perfect racetrack for them.
Yeah, I'd agree. So
So no course changes. We don't want to change anything about the layout. We would leave it the way it is. See how it goes next year.
Oh my god, yeah. I
Okay.
maybe work on pit entry, but I mean,
Yeah,
what can you really do?
I don't know what you can do there besides if you move that wall, but I'm pretty sure you're already up on the curb. So
Maybe, yeah, that's
because that's the only thing you can do is you can move the inside wall of that corner. But then they're just gonna keep cutting it, right? Like the
Yeah.
race car drivers.
I was wondering if it would be tough, but I mean, that's no different than a lot of other street course pit road entries. If you could maybe move the entry to like corner entry, like on the inside, and have the wall there. And yeah, there's a wall that kind of like juts out that you would hit, but you're not going very fast, and they'd probably put 18 billion barrels of
Water.
stuff, you know,
Order.
water, sand, or something.
That's why the tires worked
I don't
so
know.
well. They were full of water.
Yeah, but I that's probably the only thing I would change is like
Yeah.
maybe look at the pit entry.
Cool.
yeah, big fan. Great
Chicago's cool. Xfinity happened almost.
It did.
race. It kind of happened.
They got what 25 laps,
Yeah.
and then they got rained out Sunday. And NASCAR was like, "We're 2 laps from halfway. We're gonna call this race early." That was like the 5th or 6th time they've done that.
Mhm.
Which is weird because like it hadn't happened up until 2020, and then it happened in 2020, and then it happened in 21, and then it hasn't happened since then. And it was their truck and Xfinity races, the 2 most recent times. But
Well, hey,
it made
I,
sense because pandemic. I think one of them was like a doubleheader weekend, so they had to.
I listened to the teardown this morning, and Jeff Gluck was saying how he wishes they would have brought the Xfinity cars out to run 2 laps so they could get to halfway, so that they could end it then. And I disagree with that entirely. I don't know what purpose that even serves, other than meeting this arbitrary requirement in the rule book. That the rule book also states that NASCAR can just say like, no, and just do whatever they want.
Was he not mad about single file restarts all day on Sunday? Because
He wasn't, surprisingly enough.
crazy, because the rulebook says that we're supposed to have double file restarts.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think the teams would have been very pumped to get everything ready again and get everybody in place and then pace for 2 laps and then be like, all right, cool.
Okay, we're done.
Now we get to go pack everything back up again.
Yeah, I think it was a good move considering the circumstances, and I don't see any reason to bring the cars back out on track if you don't need to bring them out on track.
Yeah, just unfortunate all around.
And part of that too was about kind of again, working with a city is a lot different than working with a racetrack, because that relationship, the city doesn't necessarily need you there, right?
Yeah.
City like Chicago doesn't need NASCAR. They don't need it. Racetrack needs it. So, part of that is relationship building. Hey, we know you don't want us here tomorrow. Mayor, I think it's Jad. I forget what the new mayor's name is. But I think it's Jackson, his last name. Hey, we understand you don't like us being here. We're not even going to worry about we're not going to invoke this clause in our contract that we have.
Yeah. I think now though that like we have one race in the book or in the bank and it was a success, I think they could kind of leverage that for next year. It's like, hey, let's put a contingency plan in place for Monday because this ended up going really well when we actually did get to race. But yeah. So
that kind of leads to like the next point. It's like, does the Xfinity Series need this? Is this a thing that Xfinity should be doing?
I don't think they need it.
Because I'm going to be honest, I wouldn't necessarily hate making it a Saturday, like I said earlier, bringing in some temporary lighting and making it a Saturday night show, Cup 1 off on its own, make it happen. Practice, qualify, race Sunday night or Saturday night. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Get everybody out of there early. It's an idea.
Yeah. But what about all that light pollution, Davey? And the loud noises at night in the city.
Yeah, on Saturday night, right? Yeah, maybe instead of
Noise ordinances, Davey.
Yeah, I mean, when those people are getting their ears blown out at like a club or something, they don't need to have race cars interrupted. They want to just have the music, so I get it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think I don't know if that'll be I mean, I think I don't know. I think my idea is great.
It's a cool idea. I'm not trying to say
screw
it's
those
like
people. Screw them. I don't need to hear it. I checked the Chicago subreddit and they loved the race. So
okay, actually,
yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
cool. Did not know that.
If you go on the Chicago subreddit and you sort by like top of like the last week, all of the recent ones were like, I was walking by and I loved it. Like I just saw it through a fence and this was awesome. I was like, yeah, dude.
Race cars are cool. That's what I tell all my friends when I take them to it. Race cars are cool. Just enjoy the show. Don't worry about it. Just watch them. It's cool.
And like, how many times have we said like, oh, once you bring someone to a race, like most of the time they will enjoy themselves and they'll at the very least be intrigued. I mean, what better way to do that than by bringing it to friggin' downtown Chicago? And it worked.
It worked.
It friggin' worked.
It worked. But yeah, I don't think Xfinity needs the event necessarily as part of their schedule. Because I don't know what value it gave them. You know what I mean?
A lot of road courses. I mean, they have 3 road courses and 4 races like during this stretch too. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, they're road course heavy right now.
Yeah,
because they go to Road America too.
Yeah. Jesus.
And the Roval.
And the Roval. They go to Watkins Glen. They go to Indy Road Course. Right?
Oh my God. Yeah, they could probably nix this one and then just make this a cup-only show.
I'm pretty sure they go to Road America.
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
I was checking specifically. That's why I had it.
Because they go when the Cup and trucks are at Richmond, right?
I believe so.
Is that what the schedule looks like?
Let me check the Cup schedule.
It's last weekend of July.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, I know it because I have to know it. And also, what a crowd! And the reason to have Xfinity there is that was the biggest crowd I've seen for an Xfinity race in a long time. Right? So that would be your reason. Get people intrigued. Now, the way NASCAR made you buy tickets, you had to buy tickets for both days. So maybe that's why you're there on Saturday, because you had money.
Yeah.
But, hey, exposure is exposure. Alex Palou continues to dominate the NTT Data IndyCar Series, 3rd straight win at Mid-Ohio.
Woo.
There it is.
It was more so about Ohio, because the course is pretty cool.
It's a heavy Joe opinion episode.
Is it?
Yeah.
Are they giving a lot of opinions?
Heavy Joe bias with the Ohio slant.
Well, yeah, but through Ohio.
It's not a new development though. Let's be real.
Alex Palou looks like he has this title on lock, right? Like we're halfway through. He's got like a 110 point lead.
He's won 4 of the last 5 too. I didn't even realize that.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the only one he didn't win was Indy.
Yeah.
Because pit road shenanigans.
Last year it was just a little bit off because that whole contract kerfuffle, it looked like it, and I think he's just back to. I think we all kind of forgot that Alex Palou is really friggin' good at driving an Indy car.
And really young.
Yeah.
Like really young for what he's doing.
Yeah, only 26, yeah.
The level he's doing.
Dude's killing it.
What was Benjamin Peterson doing? Does anyone know?
I actually haven't seen this yet. Hang on.
He was just like, he was racing Alexander Rossi while he was a lap down.
Heard about that. I did not watch the IndyCar.
Rossi lost a spot to Pato, then lost a spot to who's in the 11 car? Rookie.
I know this. Hang on, let me find it.
I forget his name.
Marcus Armstrong.
Lost a spot to Marcus Armstrong. And then finally was let go once I think Peterson realized that Rossi wasn't his teammate Ericsson. Or not Ericsson, Rosenquist, sorry.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, that that and the incident on the first lap too, with the 2 Swedes plowing into each other was pretty good. So
That was Marcus Ericsson's first DNF or incident of the year too, or whatever.
Oh, wow.
Like first really bad finish. Like
Speaking
he's
of which,
consistent.
I saw something that really pissed me off the other day, where it was. We've talked about the like elitist F1 fans before, and there's somebody saying like, "Oh, what does this say about IndyCar? If one of F1's worst drivers of all time, Marcus Ericsson, can win the Indy 500," and I was like, "Yeah, that's how I know you've never watched more than Drive to Survive, because Marcus Ericsson is not even close to the worst driver." Like Marcus Ericsson, if anything, was a very solid race car driver. Like, what are you talking about?
F1 fans like so very consistently don't know wheel. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, there was one where somebody was saying that like that NASCAR, like I can't remember what it was, but just doesn't stand anywhere close to the level of competition that F1 is. And somebody was like,
What?
Kimi Räikkönen literally said after COTA this year, this is more fun than F1. What are you talking about?
Again, F1 fans just like it's F1 is such like a bubble in terms of like your fanhood of it. I mean, you just when you are an F1 fan, I mean, you suck on the F1 like teat. Like you get fed all this stuff about how F1 drivers are like F1 drivers are only half human. The other half is alien because they're the only ones that can drive race cars the way they do, and no one else can do that in the world.
When a computer does 75% of it.
There's only 22 Grand Prix drivers. Those are the 22 best drivers in the world, and Max Chilton. And it's
is that why Vincenzo Sospiri, a guy who Michael Schumacher described as dominating, never got more than one F1 start? Is that's why it was?
It's crazy how the FIA has like this license system to keep the drivers that it deems good at the top in their series and arbitrarily assigns points to different series, despite other series having more races, more grueling races, and honestly being much tougher to, finish. But whatever.
I love the guy, but who are you going to say is a better race car driver, Yuki Tsunoda or Scott Dixon? Just saying.
Oh, Yuki, because he's in F1.
He's in Yuki. Yeah. He's in Formula. He's an AlphaTauri driver. So
yeah.
Oh, true. Yeah.
He's an F1. Come on.
He's an F1. So.
Come on. What are you kidding me, Scott Dixon?
Do you want to know how much I just retched saying that? Like I had to hold it back.
It hurts.
I had to hold it back.
But yeah, I mean, yeah. Stupid. Any expectations for second half IndyCar? Or are we just gonna kind of like watch it passively?
They got to pick it up, man, because IndyCar is like. Remember, we did a whole show a couple weeks ago where we did not realize that IndyCar was racing the next week. That like next
it was Road America leading into Road America.
We just didn't even talk about it because they like I had no idea that they were racing. I had no idea. Had like zero clue, didn't see it on social media, didn't see anything. Like it just did not like why am I not seeing that? Where is this information being displayed to me, a racing fan who should be seeing this kind of thing, who sees it for every other thing? Like I pay attention to Formula 1 almost at like a negative amount, and I still know like when and where Formula 1 are at pretty quickly during the week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What is going on? What is going wrong? Why is this happening? IndyCar needs to figure it the hell out, because I don't like. It feels like it's getting worse and harder to keep up with it. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. It could be just a me thing, but
no. Because like I try to actively follow it and I can't.
Yeah, I mean, even speaking from just like a basic, like general perspective, like IndyCar has no tie-ins with any other form of like media at all. Like there's no IndyCar video game. They don't have their stuff in Rocket League like NASCAR does. They don't like they just have no presence outside of their own races, and that's
like even their podcasts.
It's not how you do things. Yeah.
Their podcasts are like they're so good. Like Hinch and Rossi's podcast, great podcast. I'm excited to listen to it this week. But like, there's no, like, you're not gonna find it. You know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna find it.
Yeah, I had to be told that existed.
And it's great Did you?
Yeah.
Was it? When were you told?
Like a year and a half ago.
Oh,
Probably.
you should have said right now, because that would have been funnier.
God. Damn it.
You'll learn. You'll learn.
Yeah.
Um.
I'm not yes-anding right now. Damn it.
But yeah, I figure it out. IndyCar. Roger Penske, you can't put all this money into IMS and then waste it. Oh, hire a marketing team.
I'm looking at the IndyCar app, and it's just so interesting.
The IndyCar app isn't like terrible either, right? Like
It's not bad. It just has little quirks, and like it requires you. You can continue as a guest, but it like requires you to sign in to use it. I'm like, okay, sure. Can I just like look at the news and stuff? Or you want to like give me notifications when there's a race a week away or something? I don't know. Or don't let me don't show me a race from June 18th and have details and tickets still in the thing. Please.
well,
Like,
Just get like one Twitch streamer to talk about you. Like, just one.
honestly,
yeah.
There's one channel that I really like that does videos about like just little short videos about like disastrous IndyCar seasons for drivers, and it's great. And he has like 200 subscribers, and I'm like, yeah, even people in the IndyCar orbit can't even
find it.
like get anywhere. Actually, now I gotta look up. I can't even remember his name right now. Now I'm looking it up just so I can
shout him out.
just so I can plug this guy.
I
Yes.
do think a little
Country
bit of
Line
that.
Films. Go subscribe to him. He's great. Okay.
I do like. There's like a little bit of that. That's like maybe it's like self-inflicted in an unfortunate kind of way, where like IndyCar and mainly IndyCar fans have like the worst little brother syndrome in all of motorsports.
Well, yeah.
They kind of Now that I think about
It's
it, they
so bad. Like I saw someone that's a PR rep for an IndyCar team or a driver or something like that. I think a team, and like after the NASCAR race, she like brought up the Landon Castle thing where he was like NASCAR drivers are the most versatile drivers. She was like, oh, but and like a lot of IndyCar people were really mad at that, and so that's why I'm drawing this comparison is like she was like, oh yeah, NASCAR drivers are so versatile. They just got beat by a guy who's doing his first ever race. How versatile are they? That's so good. I'm like, shut up.
Okay,
Yeah,
Brett Griffin.
like, you have your own thing going on over there in IndyCar, and it's really good. And you don't have to like tap into these other things. You don't have to like poop on F1 and then poop on NASCAR or go poop on IMSA a little bit. So IndyCar will be cool. IndyCar's cool as it is. Let's not focus on all the other things. Why not just focus on IndyCar? Like, it's just so. Even in the IndyCar subreddit, like the amount of like just inane things I see about other forms of motorsport from mainly IndyCar fans is so weird. From like a group of people who I think really care about hardcore, like good racing, like really good, true racing fans, they just get so caught up in being the little brother. I don't understand it.
They're silly gooses.
They are silly gooses.
Geese. Silly geese.
Okay, that was something else.
Do we want to go over the things I have on news, or do we want to just skip them?
God.
We can skip
Who the
them.
hell is gonna care about that last one? Go ahead,
Quickly
Liz.
Googles Kip Childress.
Pace car driver.
Oh. All right.
Anyways, he's going to be director of the Cars Tour. Cole Custer gets to run the next 3 races in the Rick Ware Racing 51. We'll see if they get any support from SHR.
That's a really interesting way to phrase that. Cole Custer gets to run that car. Gets to. Cole Custer has to run that car.
Yeah. He's like, please don't make me drive the 51.
Cole Custer, damn it!
Cole, it's time for your regularly scheduled cup start. Yes, dear.
What if he goes out and gets like a top 20 finish in that car, though?
He outruns 3 out of the 4 Stewart Haas drivers.
I mean, that's not even like that crazy of an idea.
I mean,
anymore.
Atlanta's this weekend, right? But
Yeah, true.
Hey, Ryan Preece has been running well. Okay, we're gonna do that right now. I'm not taking the slander. Ryan Preece has steadily finished like
all
top
the SHR
17.
all the SHR cars are running well.
He finished 15th.
He did.
Yeah.
Chase,
Dude, do you
Chase Briscoe
understand
wasn't
how
running
awesome that
35th all
is?
week. You
Yeah,
know, like
he
I
actually
know.
like had some speed and then finished 18th.
That's good for him this year, man.
Yeah.
That's really
Rough.
good for him this year.
He's got a new crew chief now. Okay, so let's go ahead and just go into this next weekend because the Truck Series is at Mid-Ohio. I don't know who you guys want to pick.
Let me look this up.
Do you know who you want to pick?
I'm getting the entry list, Joe. Good lord, you're always rushing us.
Literally, you usually pick a full-time driver anyways.
You're rushing me. You think I remember? The
I'm taking
full-time
Zane
drivers in the
Smith
Truck
because you two
Series?
are slow. So
You think I care or remember the full-time Truck Series drivers in the year of our Lord 2023?
Who-
Do you think that even matters to me?
Who the hell is Connor Jones, and why is he driving a 5th ThorSport truck?
he's a development driver for ThorSport.
Who the hell is Connor Jones? Said this
That
man.
sounds like a segment Fox would play before the
There-
race.
There is something really funny about the term ThorSport development driver because nobody who's ever driven for ThorSport has ever done anything else.
Or Haley Deegan.
Yeah. Like, we talk about the Truck Series being a black hole, but ThorSport is the black hole of the black hole. Like, you're like two
Yeah.
levels. Like, is Ben Rhodes ever going to drive anything other than a truck? I don't think he is. Oh my god.
I'm gonna go Timmy Hill.
I'm gonna go with ooh, this is tough. You know what? Screw it. Give me Connor Jones. I'm taking him.
NASCAR Xfinity Series is at Atlanta. Matt, you can pick first.
Oh, I gotta bring up the
Oh my god.
Austin Hill, actually. Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
even need to look at it.
Davey.
I'll take the easy pick.
God, I don't want to. Justin Allgaier.
I'm gonna take
Surely
Parker.
this is the week it works for Sheldon Green.
I'm gonna take Parker Kligerman. Cup Series, Atlanta, Sunday night under the lights at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Sunday
do we
night
have any winners this
NASCAR
week?
on USA Network.
Austin Hill's in this race.
Yeah.
He is. It's his makeup race for not making the 500. Right? He didn't make the 500?
No, he got wrecked in his duel.
Right.
Excuse me. I'm so sorry. Carla Joy.
Redemption arc. I'm down for it.
Mm-hmm.
Matt?
I'm gonna go with.
He's gonna right rear Chase Elliott for the win.
I hope.
Justin Haley.
I'm gonna take Brad.
Some weird picks we've got this week.
Yeah. I picked the guys that I picked in the USRL pick'em. So
Been telling Dewey for 2 years. I'm like, just use my picks from Fake Racers and put that as my.
Dewey
race
doesn't
picks.
watch this. Dewey, if you watch this, and first off, if you're one of Dewey's little minions or his friends, don't tell him. Don't tell him that I'm saying this. And if you do, I'll know, because I always know. But Dewey, if you're
Technically an
watching
employee
this,
of
if you're watching this, I want you to message me and tell me this secret word. Carcass. When you send that word to me, I will know that you watched this. And there will be a reward for you. Maybe didn't see that last part. Matt did, though. And for the folks at home that actually watched all the way through, you got that. And for the audio listeners, you didn't see it. I'm sorry. Because you could only hear.
Go to the YouTube channel and watch it.
Yep, JTN2 on YouTube. And that's a great segue because remember, folks, you can follow us at Fake Racers on Twitter, where Davey will make a post when this episode goes up tomorrow, hopefully. Today, when you're watching.
That's me.
You can follow Davey at D7H5, at D7H5er, at Davey Hazard. Those are linked down below for his Insta,
Everything.
Twitch, and Twitter.
Yep.
Matthew, you can follow at msteelman51. He was on a heater Sunday night. So go give him a follow.
Do
And
it.
remember, you can follow at Johto Network, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Again, all those things linked down below. Make sure you're subscribed over to the mothership at Johto Network on YouTube, also on Twitch. Good? Good, Davey? Okay. What are you laughing for? What are you laughing for?
Nothing, dude.
You laughing at me?
Nothing, dude.
Man, I think he's laughing at me.
Maybe.
No, I'm not.
All right.
Oh wait, hang on. Let me get my soundboard out too.
Oh, God!
There you go.
But again,
Hey, listener. Hold on. Hey, guys, quiet real quick. Listener. Is that your fire alarm? Hey, gotta change the battery. Make sure you change the battery on that.
Bristol
No
literally
way,
got
yeah.
up right as you played that sound.
You just gotta make sure you check your batteries on your fire alarm.
Bristol heard that sound and he's like,
Hey, yo, cuz, what's this?
I cannot stand it.
I like it how you have these tools, and instead of using them like during the show when it would be helpful to use them, you're like, no, let's use them at the end while Joe's trying to finish the episode.
"Do you really think it's
appreciate you
useful
guys.
if I were to play this?"
Black hole sauce among us.
Oh,
I'm a crewmate.
Yeah, I think it would be helpful because it would add some
my
humor.
God.
We need some more black hole sus next week.
But again, folks, cannot thank you enough, as always, for watching, listening to whatever you want to call this, because we don't know what to call it either. But it is the Fake Racers Podcast here on JTN. Again, thank you so much, and we'll see you guys next week, again, on the Fake Racers Podcast.
Why?